listening to the sound of the Coach's Corner.
Ready, set, go.
That's right, DCC. Are you ready for the hardcore motivation, daily inspiration, and sure up your spiritual foundation on DCC? If you want more on the go and you need to know, www.415-96radio.com. Join us there as we cheer you on to the finish line of life. This is not your mama's show. This show is for the new generation of those young men and women who know and realize that I've done enough foolish things, I've made enough mistakes, and now it is my time to accept the philosophy of DCC. And that is, I am the common denominator to every situation. Join me at www.415-96radio.com. That's www.415-96radio.com. And follow me on Twitter. You're listening to the sound of the Coach's Corner. I's got my eyes on you, and I see you done sat down on the future. I need you to get up, stop looking back, and move forward.
What you need, 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 what you need.
I want to ask you a question. Who's coaching you? Who's asking you the tough questions? Who's telling you, man, you're the common denominator to all of your issues and challenges? Who's telling you, man, all day long you become the magnetic pulse that attracts to you both good and bad? I want to be your life coach. I want to be the one that cheers you on to the finish line. I want to be the one that you ask the tough questions. And it doesn't mean that I have all the answers, but that means that you have a partner, someone who believes in you, not the you see right now, but the you can't imagine, the you that you are to become, the you were destined to be. I always say we both need the positive and the negative. It's not enough to have the knowledge of the matter, but we must have the wisdom as well. For wisdom settles it. And that's what I want to offer you as you join me on the Coach's Corner. I want to offer you the wisdom of the matter. Maybe it might be relationships, talking about our campaigns for more, for life, the dark room of our subconscious, our spiritual journey. Whatever it is, I want to be there to encourage you, to build you, to challenge you, to cheer you on to the finish line. I'm qualified to do this. Why? Because I'm you.
Well, welcome to a special edition of the Coach's Corner right here on SIBN Radio. My name is Marcus Sillett, a.k.a. The Coach, and I thank you for stopping by. And today, I approach this microphone with personal and professional issues. I admit I got issues, and I like to think that from bumping my head against the wall, I can tell you all a thing or two, some wisdom here or there that could help make your day. And I would be remiss if I did not shout out those who listen around the world on the various platforms where we air: VoiceCast, Spreaker, YouTube, Google+. Thank you so very much for my Twitter fans, Spreaker, Blog Talk Radio, iTunes. What did I forget? Shoutcast Radio. Can't forget you guys. And those that tune in at www.415-96 Radio. Thank you so very much. Today we want to talk a special edition on making a transition. Step number one is discovery. Step number one is discovery. Let's get to work. y'all. Let's get to work. Let's get to work, man. Let's get to work. You want to make a transition. There are those that are out there that are listening to my voice. You want change. Change is transition. Let's admit, first of all, on deck, that most of us do not like change. Most of us don't like it. We like it perhaps when it happens, but we don't like to go through what? The transition. And so I want to present another small series. Don't know how long it's going to be. You're going to have to follow me on Twitter. You're going to have to keep up. Double check on www.415-96 radio. I'm a little bit behind because I got some film production, some other things going on in the pot. But this was on my heart, and I want to come and support those of you that are trying to make change through the vehicle, the pathway of transition. All right, so I'm take a small break. I'll be right back to talk about step number 1. SCGPW. That's right. The Select USA TV Collabo Media Groups and Partners Worldwide for a limited time has opened up its membership to the general public. Now you can collaborate worldwide with media conglomerate SIBN Television and Radio. If you want to join free of charge for this limited time offer, then visit www.WeSupportSelectUSATV.com. That's right, we have programs, benefits, service, and so much more to offer to our members exclusively at SCGPW. That's right, visit www.WeSupportSelectUSATV.com. That's www.WeSupportSaletTV.com. All right, y'all, we back here. We're talking about making that change through the vehicle, the pathway of transition. All right, and so through the vehicle of discovery, making the transition, yes, through transition. But the first step in the vehicle, like you would get in your car and you would turn your car keys. The first thing is stick the keys into the ignition and turn. And for those of you that have the new cars, the first step would be to have the key on you to get into the car, because there's that recognition thing, and then push the button to start the car. You do not get in the car and put it in gear first. You do not get in the car and turn on the radio first. You do not get in the car and turn on the windows first. You get in the car and start. So if I was to say right now, for the change that you want, or I should say, the change that you need, because you don't want to be sitting here this time next year. You don't want to be sitting here this time next month. You don't want to be sitting here 5 years from now where you are right now. I don't care what your successes are. I don't care how many degrees you have. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care how many problems you have. I don't care who said you couldn't do what. I don't care where your feelings may fluctuate. Today you're up. Tomorrow you're down. You're feeling leveled to the ground and you don't know whether or not you're going to make it. I don't care about my feelings when I have a goal in front of me. I don't care about my conditioning, because I realized through discovery, we're going to talk about it, that my conditioning is part of the problem why I cannot have the change that I need, why I can't get in the vehicle and follow step 1. Push the button, turn the key to start. Every dream starts with one single step, and then on top of that, another. On top of that, another. Until you build a staircase. There was an old song that was called Stairway to Heaven. Maybe I should get that. I don't know. But anyway, I want you to be excited. I want you to be elated. I want you to be turned on, not turned off, because it's enough that turns us off. The negativity, the backlash, the backstabbing, those who want the naysayers. You see what I'm saying? The gainsayers is what I'm getting ready to say. So for whatever that means, people that have hidden agendas and they're doing X, Y, and Z because they want something out of it. And there's nothing wrong with that as long as you're getting something out of it and both of you are benefiting those around you. Be right back. Take a small break.
And accept that there is only one philosophy that I have embraced under the Coach's Corner's umbrella, and that is that we are the common denominator in every situation. So I can't blame them, they, her, and him. I am stepping up to the plate, and I realize it's all me. Not that it's all about me, but it's all about the legacy for those that come behind me to achieve a height of success that I can't even imagine. This is called the transgenerational shift of mindsets that we may propel ourselves into the generations that is to come and tell them, I won't leave you a mess that you have to clean up, but I'll leave you a principle-centered life that you can celebrate and catapult into more success. Join me on the Coach's Corner at www.415-96radio.com. That's www.415-96radio.com, and follow me on Twitter. That's the only way you can keep up with the coach. That's right, DCC is in the house on SIBN Radio.
You're listening to the sounds of your lifestyle improvement station.
Hi, my name is Sonia Claiborne from East St. Louis, Illinois, by way of Carruthersville, Missouri. You're listening to the Lifestyle Improvement Station, SIBN Radio. Turn it up.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for another exclusive with a young man.
You're listening to the sounds of your lifestyle improvement station, changing the way we live.
I am Donnell Bella, a.k.a. world-famous DJ Donnie B. You are tuned in to SIBN Radio, your lifestyle improvement station. I'm telling y'all to turn it up, turn it up.
All right, y'all, we back here in the studio, man. Let's talk about change and the vehicle of change, transition. The vehicle of change. The first step in transitioning from where you are now to where you want to be is to discover, what do you need? Sounds elementary? Sounds basic? Sounds primary? Primal maybe? But you know what? We humans soon forget our successful journey toward the successes we have accomplished. We sometimes forget the methodology that allows us to get from point A to point B. And I was telling a friend of mine, the older you get, the more responsibility you have, the more difficult transition is. Why? Because managing crises, managing or processing tragedies because of private or environmental conditioning and a plethora of other reasons. I just don't feel like it today. And we all have those times, those moments. I don't feel it. I'm not hearing it today. But you know what? That's when you got to talk to yourself. You and I have to know what turns us on and what turns us off. And we need, regarding change and transition, to be more turned on to the goal than turned off to the people that are impeding us. So let's get to the discovery mode. What do you need? Not what you want, not your reality, not your fantasy, which can never be your reality because you're far reaching beyond. I need some help. Far reaching beyond the scope of accomplishment. And now putting yourself or setting yourself up for disappointment. And some of us like self-failure mechanisms because truly we are afraid. I must admit, there are fears on multiple levels. And many of us are afraid to succeed beyond where we have already succeeded. Take a small break. Be right back.
We interrupt this program to simply say thank you for your listenership here on SIBN Radio. We do not take what you're giving to us for granted. By all means, we invite you to be a part of our family in a deeper way. You can visit our websites, www.sibntelevision.com. You'll see a community page at the top there, and you can join free of charge with your email and share your thoughts, pictures, and so much more right there on the site. And for those of you that would like to listen more regularly to our block programming, you can visit www.sibnradio-by-selectusatv.com. We're now looking for interns for the SIBN networks, and there is no shortage of work that needs to be done. Simply email us your bio or resume to globalcoverage@selectusatv.info. New programming is always a consideration here at the networks, and we invite you to share your ideas, concepts, or vision. As we move forward with a global multimedia platform, we expect great things. We now want to return you to your regularly scheduled program. And again, from our hearts to yours, thank you.
Well, we're talking about change and the transition, the vehicle. Trying to get you there because we want to encourage you in this immediate communication broadcast. Your change is urgent, and your vehicle is the same. Transition, the management of it all makes you want to have a drink, okay? And for those of you that don't drink, my goodness, don't send me 1,000 emails. I don't drink. Well, it makes you want to go to church, okay, for you. Make somebody else want to pray. Make somebody else, but after you get done doing whatever it is that you think you got to do, change and transition, the vehicle of change, will still be required. And change ain't change until you change the change that you want from what was to what can and what will be. I'm reminded of a famous story. Before I talk more about the discovery step, I'm reminded of the famous story of the prophet, the man, the Savior, Christ. He told his disciples oftentimes when he was met with a conditioning mindset that would alter the futuristic plausibility of his goals. He would say, I'm going to die, and then I'm going to be buried. And then on the third day, I'm going to get up, meaning I'm going to rise again, of which Christianity sits on the axis of the resurrection. Can I get some help? Can I get amen on that one? Right there. Yeah. Okay, you a little bit late, but it's okay. You see what I'm saying? So one of the things that I got to work on, one of the things that you got to work on, we're working on this together, is that I've got to say I'm going to be crucified. I'm going to be buried. And then I'm going to rise. So in my discovery, the first thing that I need to discover is, who am I? Not in the philosophical sense, not in the physiological sense, not in the sexual identification sense, not in the genealogical sense. Got tongue tied right there. But who am I in reference or in context with the goal that I want to reach? And if you're not taking notes when the coach is on the microphone, you slipping, boo. For real. You can't keep all this in your head. The first thing you got to do is say, I am going to be crucified. I realize I'm going to be talked about. Certain folks ain't going to like me. Certain folks ain't going to be able to run in my circle once in a season, but no more, because I don't have a reason for them to run in my group or in my clique, if you will, because I got to have the victory still. So the first thing you got to say, I am going to be crucified for things that I didn't do, things that I didn't say, things that I didn't mean. But you know what? That's all under the bridge. I realize that now. I realize and accept the fact that I got to wait right here until the flock of my kind is revealed. And I can't run with every Tom, Dick, and Harry, no fun intended, and expect to rise to the level of my potential. Because after it's all said and done, I'm going to be asked, what did you do with your life? And I dare not want to be able to say Sally or the baby mama drama or, baby daddy drama stopped me from the potentiality of what it is that I was destined to do. I'm going to take a small break and I'll be right back. This is the coach. Listening to SIBN Radio on the Select USA TV iBroadcasting Network. You're listening to SIBN Radio. Yes, we're talking about change. We're talking about the transition, the vehicle of change, and we're talking about the first step called discovery. What do I need? Get a blank piece of paper and a pen or a pencil. It's got to be blank. We don't want no lines on it, because you may need to draw it out. You may need to walk it out. You may need to, you know what I'm saying, write it out. But you need to have something on that paper before this session is over. Or you can download this webisode, radio broadcast. It's a good thing about internet radio, downloadable, and it won't be for long, because we're going to be going strong, and it'll be for sale in a minute. You see what I'm saying? So I'm trying to give you all I got with the time I have. So get a pen and a notebook or some loose leaf paper or loose paper and write it down. What do you need? I'm going to pause right there. For instance, if you got a DUI and your license is suspended, and now you can't drive, and you were in the process of looking for work, but now you can't find work based on the fact that you live in an area where you have to have a car to get around, but you got a DUI, and plus you got to find on top of the DUI, now you got to go to court and DUI school, then you need to get the money to pay for your DUI course and fines so that you can retrieve your license back, so that you can continue looking for work. And meanwhile, simultaneously with that, you need to set a time frame for that to happen. Now, I want to talk about what do you do when you can't see where the money gonna come from. Listen, money is attracted to goals. And if a goal is set and a time is set, then the money will come and the need will be met. But if you leave the goal up in the air waiting for the money to come, you're gonna be wishing upon a star and wondering why you are where you are a month, a year, a decade after you have heard my voice. Write down what you need. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care how many degrees. And see, that's the problem. We hinge the future of our success on previous success. And maybe after you get to a certain momentous place, that may be plausible or possible. But I don't want you to borrow too much from your strengths to cover your weakness, because you might get caught bankrupt and found that you have insufficient or not sufficient enough funds to cover your weakness. What do you need? Let's say, for instance, you don't have a car. After the break, we're going to talk about what if you don't have a vehicle? Or what if you don't have the support system for what it is that you want to do? What if you don't have the money? Write down what you need. Be right back. Take a small break.
Listening to the sounds of the weekend drive and the weekday grind on SIBN Radio.
Responsible, accountable. Who taught you that? My daddy taught me that. That's right, the new book, all the way from Asheville, North Carolina, representing the legacy of Benny Lake, is Keenan Lake, the author of My Daddy Taught Me That, the book and the program for young men in Asheville, North Carolina, and throughout the region. Tune in to the program, the project, and the book at mydaddytaughtmethat.com. For more information, email lake@mydaddytaughtmethat.com or call 828-582-2261. That's 828-582-2261. mydaddytaughtmethat.com. All right, y'all, let's wrap this up real quick. What do you need? Write it down. What do you need? Now, I didn't say what you wanted. What you need. To do the impossible. To touch the invisible. To handle the intangible. Write down what you need. Now, listen. Do not hesitate to write, because your conditioning, your lack of resources, your lack of support has nothing to do with this conversation. Take that pawn and sit it off the board in your mind. This is your time. And until next time, follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and anywhere SIBN television and radio is found. We're powered by Select USA TV. This is the Coach.
love. The measure of a man or woman is from the inside out and not from the outside in. Don't trick yourself. You will wreck yourself trying to impress others and trying to keep up with the Smiths and the Joneses. It's about time that you start looking at the finish line. And at DCC, we offer the hardest core motivation, daily inspiration for your spiritual foundation that you can find. Why? Because our philosophy is simple. We are the common denominator in every situation.